I bet you've asked yourself, what if I could do it all again? Like from the top, clean slate, hitting that cosmic refresh button, life, a new game plus mode. And I bet there's already a list in your head of all of the things that you would do differently. I'd study harder. I'd generally just be a nicer person. I'd speak to my grandma more. We've all been there, right? And let's be honest, some of us actually live there rent-free in the past on loop. But have you ever actually noticed that question, what if I could do it all again? It changes nothing. Asking it itself is kind of just like emotional clickbait. Look, this is where I go when I ask that question. All of the things I could have done change into the things I should have done. And I end up feeling not only nostalgic, but guilty as well, like some useless trash goblin. Nostalgic and guilty. What a fucking combination. Just beating myself up on loop. But here's the thing. Over 100 years ago, some Russian dude had the exact same thought. His name, Pyotr Demyanovich Ouspensky. I doubt that's how it's pronounced, but this is how it's spelled. Anyway. Ouspensky realized how useless that question, what if I could go back and change it all again? He realized how useless that question was. He discovered a way better question that we could be asking. One that could actually change the way we live our lives. And because this was 1915, he didn't give a TED talk. I mean, are those even still a thing? Instead, P.D. Ouspensky, Pyotr Demyanovich Ouspensky, wrote a book demonstrating exactly how this question will change your life. That book is called Strange Life of Ivan Osokin, and this is my no spoiler review. Welcome to Reading for Idiots.
Like, share, subscribe.
So who was this Ouspensky guy who discovered the question that could change your life? P.D. Ouspensky was born in Moscow in 1878, back when Russia was still trying to do its empire thing, which they're kinda trying to do again now, kinda. And he died in Surrey, England in 1947. And get this, when he was 16, he gets expelled from school, his Russian government school, and he gets expelled for graffitiing a school wall while the school inspector was inspecting. I mean, pretty iconic. And then he disappears for a bit, for like a decade. He pops up again in 1906 working for a daily Moscow newspaper called The Morning. Sounds like a shit breakfast cereal. And then in 1907, so a year later, Ouspensky gets neck deep in Theosophy. And Theosophy is kind of like a Western remix of Eastern philosophical thought. Think Buddhism and Hinduism with cosmic spice added to it. Like proto-Alan Watts, if you will. Anyway, inspired by Theosophy in 1909, Ouspensky writes his first work titled The Fourth Dimension. This idea of there being more dimensions than meets the eye was pretty fashionable back then, thanks to the guy who actually invented the term tesseract, Charles H. Hinton. Ouspensky then takes his esoteric, mind-bendy shit to the next level in 1912 when he publishes his second work called Tertium Organum, in which he basically is like, so you know space and time, right? Yeah, not real. And then a year later, I know I'm getting a little bit micro here, but a year later, in 1913, Ouspensky enters his spiritual Indiana Jones phase, and he travels to places like India, to Sri Lanka, or Ceylon, as it was known then, and also to Egypt. Soul searching, mystery chasing, war avoiding, whatever. But the real crazy, believe it or not, only begins when he comes back to Moscow in 1915 after he writes Strange Life of Ivan Osokin. He meets, studies with, founds a school with, and teaches on behalf of this batshit looking son of a bitch, George Ivanovich Gurdjieff. Look, Gurdjieff may look like Rasputin's stateless and bold cousin, but his and Ouspensky's ideas are legitimately not without substance, and they have a surprising and wide range of influence. I'll put wiki links to Theosophy, Charles H. Hinton, Gurdjieff, and of course Ouspensky down below so you can dig your own 2 a.m. rabbit hole. So our protagonist is Ivan Osokin. Surprise, surprise. And Osokin is like a floppy, sad boy who's floating around Moscow fresh off destroying his own life as sad boys are wont to do. And he's sorrowful, regretful, heartbroken, and filled with that, oh, if only I could just go back kind of energy. I mean, we've all been there, right? It's somewhere between or after our third beer and DMing our ex. And this is where it gets weird, because Ivan finds someone who could maybe help him do just that. Help him to go back, to start again, to hit that cosmic refresh button. But this time, armed with all of the knowledge he has gained in his life so far. All of the people, all of his choices, all of the regrets that he's trying to avoid. He knows all of this. It's a true second shot. It's like life with auto aim on. Isn't that amazing? He gets to go back and fix everything and stop being such a chaotic dumbass and finally make the right choices and fix his life. That's great, no? No. Strange Life of Ivan Osokin is not about magical do-overs. It's not about empty and useless wish fulfillment. It's no time travel Doctor Strangey shit. It's about something much more real and much more painful. The question isn't, what if I could go back and do it all again? The question is, why do I keep doing the same things over and over again? Or put it another way, why when I mess up, when I do, I always seem to mess up in exactly the same way? Why do I keep doing the same stupid stuff over and over? And I should know better, like over and over again when I should know better. That's the question. Why do the same things keep happening to me? And this is where it gets philosophical. Enter Nietzsche. Ever heard of eternal recurrence? Let me butcher it bite-sized for you. It's this idea that you might have to relive your life, this exact life, every win, every loss, every awkward conversation, every bad haircut, right? Over and over and over again, forever. So Nietzsche pitches this idea, this eternal recurrence idea, as a test. And if you just went, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Congrats, motherfucker. You're doing life all wrong. But if you could actually do life all over again and actually embrace it, every joy, every pain, every embarrassment, everything, And if you could accept it as not only necessary, but also beautiful, then and only then, Nietzsche says, are you living authentically? Or, in his words, are you living heroically? This novel examines that question of why do I keep doing the same shit over and over again? And it examines it like it's some weird antique thing. And it goes like, hey, buddy, what if you're not actually in control the way you think you are? Ivan Osokin's journey gently nudges us towards asking the question, what if the problem is not the world? What if the problem is you? Your thoughts, your reactions, your unconscious little scripts that keep running in your head. You will see Ivan Osokin trapped by himself, by his habits, by his unconscious, sleepwalking, autopilot life. He is his own captor. And yeah, I get it. It hurts. It hurts to even think about how you're actually at fault for everything.
Aww.
A better way to phrase it, though, is that it's all your responsibility because you can change everything. Once you see the pattern of how you keep fucking up your life in exactly the same way over and over again, like Ivan Osokin does, you can break that pattern. But there's no must. There's no should. It doesn't have to be done today, and it certainly doesn't have to be done all at once. But little by little, one by one, you can start to change things because it's your responsibility. You have the power. And isn't that liberating? And this is where that crazy mustachioed meatbag, Gurdjieff, comes back into play. This is what Ouspensky's spiritual collaborator in chaos, Pyotr Ivanovich Gurdjieff, was banging on about. This is the essence of the school of thought that they founded, the Fourth Way. They believed that most people are just machines, but not in the cool Deckard or the Major kind of way. We are all just reactive meatbags, thinking we're actually making choices when really we're just living out pre-programmed patterns and vibrating in the same space. That's the real kicker of this book. It doesn't ask, what if I could go back? It asks, why do I keep doing this? Am I even choosing any of this? Because if you don't raise your level of awareness and you are not awake to yourself, then all the second chances are just reruns. Like, yeah, you're playing life on New Game Plus mode, but the outcome's still going to be the same. You're still going to be defeated by the same boss in the same place again. I mean, yeah, there's literal time travel in this book, but it's not a fucking time travel story. It's a mirror. It's a very polite and Russian way of saying, bro, I think the problem might be you. So, yeah, Strange Life of Ivan Osokin, not just some suspect, dusty Russian novel. It's kind of like a wake-up call in disguise. Because if you can see the loop, then you can break it. And that's the real heroic hope buried under all of that existential eyeliner dread, that you can slowly, painfully, awkwardly start becoming real. And if that is not spiritual puberty, I don't know what is. Anyway, existential dread, time loops, Russian regret, mystical spankings, I would totally recommend this book. Thanks for watching all the way to the end, you absolute idiotas. New videos go up every Wednesday. I do live readings on the weekends, kind of cozy, kind of unhinged, maybe slightly a little bit. Also, if you have a book to recommend, please shoot. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment down below what your favorite what if spiral is, or if you've like met yourself in a past life in a dream or something like that, whatever. Oh, and remember to share this in your family group, WhatsApp chat. Tell your siblings exactly how you think they are fucking up their lives. Trust me, it's gonna go well. Until I see you last time, 再见.
Like, share,